That's game changing, because then you're putting everyone in a level playing field for creating wealth. It's the same with art, the same with classic cars, the same with real estate, the same with cryptocurrency, all of these things. So anybody can create a basket of these assets that have made rich people rich in the same proportion. That is a huge difference. My exit strategy changed over time. My idea was I'd trade the cycle like I did last time, and then sidestep crypto winter if it were to occur, and we don't know, and look for other returning assets that work well over that time. That's generally how macro would trade, and I'll probably do some of that. I think there's a whole bunch of opportunities that will come. But also I think I'll probably just go into more kind of VC and some hedge fund strategies within the crypto space as well, just because, I think, Kobe, you were talking about as well, is really it's at the shitty point of the cycle you actually want to be investing in the interesting stuff. It's not in the bull market that you really want to do it. So, I think you need to focus on trying to find these interesting things earlier on when nobody wants them, but meanwhile trying to make some money elsewhere as well, while this kind of chops around or sells off or whatever it's going to do. What's really fascinating now, and you've seen it in this last correction, is even though everyone kind of pisses around on Twitter freaking out, nobody actually cares. A bunch of Asian 100x traders got stopped out, but even they don't care. Most of them laugh about it. So I don't think the space really cares about the volatility any longer. And I think everybody involved in the space has made such a good job of telling people about the cycle that I don't think even institutions are going to be put off. So I think that, people just put their heads down and get on with their building of stuff. And I think we reached tipping point this cycle because of the explosion of DeFi. It's just now become this, again, another supermassive black hole of talent. So it's not just capital now, it's talent as well. And I don't think anybody now would be freaked out by the market going down 90%, or I think people would be more freaked out if it traded sideways for a year and a half. I think that would kill everybody, because people are so used to living off adrenaline.
That's what it makes me think. If everybody says this is exactly how the cycle works, doesn't that incentivize the cycle not working the same way in the future?
Or everybody takes some chips off the table again, expecting the cycle.
Like you and Kobe, y'all know how to stay rich or get richer. People who are invested have this ability to take advantage of the macro environment that you just discussed. The person who's trying to pay the mortgage, and even though it's a pretend inflation of that mortgage, to them, like you said, their wages have not gone up. I believe this has led to a lot of the populism that we see in the world on both sides. How can a regular person take advantage of these changing macro variables to not get totally screwed in all this?
Yeah, I wrote a long article about this called "The Reason for Everything," and it was basically this: the fact why this has all happened is, for all of the reasons we talked about before, wages haven't gone up, and that's made people feel poorer, and they are actually poorer. Now, sure, you could afford more, loaves of bread because that's gone down in price because technology has destroyed the price of food, but overall, the price of things that make you wealthier over time by owning assets have become disproportionately expensive. So how do you solve for this? Unless you're an entrepreneur, it's almost impossible. It's, that is a problem. So people have to do side gigs and they have to, drive an Uber, and then they have to do something else. And it's hard, right? Because you're working huge hours just to stay the same. What I'm passionate believer in is this tokenization model is going to change that. So if you are a Gen Z and you come into your savings life, by the time that they start saving, by the time they hit 30, where the kind of core of the millennials are now, the millennials have just become financialized. You can see it en masse, right? The rise of Robin Hood, all of this is the millennials becoming financialized. That will happen to Gen Z. These Gen Zers are going to be able to tokenize real estate. So no longer is the hedge fund dude able to buy something in Fifth Avenue for $50 million, which is unavailable to anybody else. You'll be able to fractionally own part of it. So the hedge fund dude can have X% of his assets in it, 3% of his assets, and so can the Gen Z who's earning, a couple of grand a month. That's game changing, because then you're putting everyone in a level playing field for creating wealth. It's the same with art, the same with classic cars, the same with real estate, the same with cryptocurrency, all of these things. So anybody can create a basket of these assets that have made rich people rich in the same proportion. That is a huge difference.